Hey guys, I'm Greg.
And I'm John.
So we just came back from a super late showing of, hold on. A super late showing. Super late showing. There we go. Super late showing.
Intro to every episode from now
Skull
on.
Island. And before the movie started, we went on IMAX, and a couple of really cool things happened. We went on, we did the Kong VR at Universal City Walk.
Yeah, we did. We put on like headsets and headphones and did like a 360.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
And beyond that, though, something super awesome happened that I didn't catch an article about. I don't know if it was officially announced. I didn't hear anything about it. They showed Nolan for his films. He tends to do when he shoots films with IMAX cameras. He tends to do trailers for IMAX where they show you like 5 to 7 minutes of a movie.
Yeah, it seems like with the last couple, it's just been the first scene.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Definitely wasn't though.
I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know for sure, but it didn't seem like the first.
Yeah,
scene,
they showed a few minutes of a lot of IMAX moments of Dunkirk, like a full scene, and. If you guys have seen our trailer reactions or reviews before, I've been a little hesitant towards the movie. I'm like, I don't quite see what's unique about it. I don't quite feel what's really going to make this an experience, you know? And, like, I don't even feel a Nolan touch to it. That all got completely alleviated for me when I saw this, like, few minutes of footage.
Yeah.
It completely made me go, I gotta go watch this movie. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, that scene like overtook me after a few minutes. Like, I was very responsive to that experience.
Yeah, totally.
Because that's the thing, like, it clicked for me this time about part of the magic for me about seeing something in that much of an immersive IMAX frame is like things actually look. You know, like when you're sitting on a screen, people look a little smaller, even though it's a huge screen. Like people still look kind of at a scale. And like when you're on IMAX and with the shots that he chooses, you feel like you're among people. Like
totally.
Especially there's that really famous crowd shot, you know, where they're all on the bridge and then they look up and they all duck down.
But it's not all in one long take. They cut back and forth for a little like once.
But like in that moment, when you see from their perspective, you feel like you're just standing among people, and like it really is immersive.
No, you felt it's weird. It's just a few minutes, but you felt like you were in that time period.
Yeah.
You know, like with the way these type of soldiers would react at this particular time, because I know a lot of you guys aren't probably going to be able to watch this. I don't know if they're going to release this on YouTube. I know with the Dark Knight films, they didn't release any of those on YouTube. It was only for people who went to see a movie in IMAX where they would show it. We'll walk you through it a little bit without giving the whole thing away. They're cutting back and forth between two main things. There's this guy there's this one dude that has another guy on a gurney, and the guy's holding the other guy behind him, and he has to like fight through a crowd. They're trying to get across a bridge, and it's like surprisingly really intense. And while but it's also intercutting with Tom Hardy is trying to track down a jet.
He's in like an airborne dogfight, you know.
Yeah, because the enemy is on one of his friends, who's in the air as well, and Tom Hardy's trying to shoot down the guy. But because of the time period it's in, what made it so unique and special, and why IMAX was so immersive with this, was it wasn't like, you know, an average plane fighting scene where it's like, got my target, automatic lock on. It was like Tom Hardy, the technology they had then. Those planes, you have to have great accuracy. Yeah. You have to really time your shots. And it was like, it's scary because you're thinking the enemy could get his friend, because it's not like Tom Hardy could easily get this guy. Usually in plane sequences in movies, whoever's behind you, they're usually gonna get the guy, you know?
Well, yeah, it seemed like you really got the sense for like this is probably the most I have experienced the feeling of like, this kind of feels like what that would be like. I finally get how it's not just easy to shoot somebody down in an airborne fight. Like, you see the way the bullets curve and the details are so huge. Yeah. And I mean, for these sequences, it really looks like they at least did the maneuvers, even if the shots are added in. So you really get the sense
a lot of strategy too.
Yeah, you're like, this is not easy, and you feel, you know, you just feel for everybody. Like, that's the thing I thought was really cool about this, is like, it does transport you, especially, you know, the screen towers and it fills kind of your whole field of vision, and in that moment, like, you really are swept up in a war movie, and to see a movie like that now, you know, I'm really, that made me really excited for this, because this could be like a great war movie, perhaps. It was a great clip.
I feel like that clip, that few minutes we saw, really sold me on this is going to be like that war. You know, like I think of, you know, when people talk about how, oh, this war movie really puts you there and it's very immersive in the battle sequences and stuff. And I feel like with the way this clip showed us, it's going to be a whole new kind of immersive experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you know, like the first 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan are what people tend to reference with like putting you in the battlefield.
Yeah.
Here, I'm like, this is going to be different than that. Like,
well,
it's going to be beyond just being incredibly crazy and violent, or like a Hacksaw Ridge one. Like it's.
Well, yeah, I got the sense of like immersive in the sense that it is the right word, but not the way we normally use it. Like it kind of swept me up in a way where it didn't seem like it doesn't seem super flashy. Yeah. It's not like using a lot of candy to lure you in. Like, this looks like this dude is just filmmaking on a huge scale right now. And, like, it feels kind of... I know the name Kubrick comes up, you know, in discussion of Christopher Nolan a lot. But it does feel like that. It does feel like, wow, you're just making a war movie as big as you wanted to make it. And it seems like it's still kind of austere. It seems like it's... really attentive. It wants to be attentive to the realness of the experience.
Yeah, it's beyond bullets and gore. Like, just the moments that they were showing of the guys having to take the gurney across the bridge and fight through crowds, that alone was really intense.
Well, yeah, and you see the treachery in it, and it's like, wow, you know, like there are little stories unfolding in the context of this kind of overall scene. Like, they're all... Yeah. In this tense moment together, but you're seeing so many different perspectives. And it is nice, like, that whole gurney sequence was great because you feel how dizzy and sort of, we only get one shot at this man, like, we gotta make this work. Yeah, like, you get the tension.
When they're on a bridge, there's a part of it where the bridge is, like, pretty much all gone except for this one plank. And there's, like, on one side of that plank are soldiers, and the other side of the other soldiers, and everyone's just watching them, like, are they gonna cross with the gurney?
Yeah.
And then when they cross with the gurney, and it's scary, it's tough, and then the crowd starts clapping. Yeah. You know, like it's like, whoa! Just a couple minutes, I felt a moment of unity amongst these soldiers.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and camaraderie.
Like, that moment really struck me when they all cheered, like, you know, even no matter what's happening off this bridge. We did this just now. Like, one dude's life might just get better today.
It's a great clip because it sold me on visual style, authenticity, and character all at once in a few minutes. Yeah. It was amazing. And it's better than any of the trailers. Like, a lot of people really do love the trailers, but if you don't, I'm telling you, man, if you have a chance to watch... Because for some of you guys who might not know this, not every IMAX theater is the same. And all the guys watch them all across the world who happen to stumble upon our videos. But... like, for us, we went to Universal City Walk's IMAX. And there's other IMAXs out here that are not the same size screen as the one at Universal City Walk. And the thing is, with real IMAX screens, most of the time when movies are converted, like we saw Kong Skull Island, it only takes up the center of the screen. Yeah. And Nolan was the first director to go with an actual, like, blockbuster feature film, The Dark Knight, where he's like, I'm going to shoot some scenes with actual IMAX cameras. So instead of taking up the center, it's taking up the entire screen.
It's legit IMAX.
And beyond just being large, the quality of an IMAX camera is beyond anything HD has offered us. Like, it's so crystal clear.
Because that film is just fucking huge. You know? Like, that, like, the amount of details you can capture is grand. And that's also what I've come to recognize. It's like when you see 70mm projected places, part of that charm is not just in the size, but in just the amount of, you feel the tangibility of the sets and things and the people, and it makes everything better. It's like, I was watching it and it, like I said, it swept me up. So seeing that level of detail and just the size of the scope, like that huge square kind of looks more like a field of vision than a rectangle I can see as a rectangle. And so in those moments, like, I felt kind of, I can anticipate the chill of the sea, or, you know, the slipperiness of the floor. Like, you know, it gets you feeling stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. So, you guys have a chance, you could do what I did when I watched the Dark Knight Joker clip before I Am Legend. I would just buy a ticket for I Am Legend, watch the trailer for the Dark Knight, watch the few scenes of the Dark Knight, and then I returned my ticket before I had to watch the movie. So, I did end up watching I Am Legend the first time.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we saw it together. All right, guys. Well, yeah, Dunkirk IMAX trailer review complete. That was fucking sweet. It was better than Kong Skull Island. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe to The Real Rejects. John's Reasons to Jerry on Twitter and Instagram. He's also the social media manager at Blumhouse and The Real Rejects. Now we're going to do our Kong Skull Island movie review.